Charlotte is a Year 9 student at high school who has been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes since she was only 4 years old. Charlotte has developed a significant level of independence in managing her medical condition, diabetes. Charlotte is one of 11,000 students who is insulin dependent in schools across Australia. Her outgoing personality and athletic ability, which she has shown in school sports such as swimming and touch football, are a credit to herself, and the support she receives from her peers, family, medical team underlies the fact that she has a disability. All non-government and government schools across all states and territories must comply with the Disability Discrimination Act, the DDA, and the Disability Standards of Education, DSE, as well as their own state's disability discrimination legislation. Holistic approach. The Universal Design of Learning (UDL) framework is a driven approach in supporting students with diverse learning needs and disabilities to access the curriculum. This framework considers the needs of diverse people by focusing on eliminating barriers through initial design rather than overcoming challenges later through making individual variations. The Universal Design for Learning framework is based on 3 principles, which include representation, action, expression, and engagement. Flexibility and engagement, generating interest in all students' own work, offering collaborative activities for self-management, assessment, and reflection. By being hands-on, students' topics and viewpoints are a result of their efforts. Giving Charlotte and her peers collaborative activities that would show the benefits of self-regulation, in her case, recording her glucose levels, health monitoring, and any patterns of daily school routine that have an effect on her mindset. As teachers, we will be able to demonstrate knowledge and make access to information more accessible and flexible using the UDL framework to successfully educate a diverse group of learners whilst adapting to the individual strengths and needs of students. Flexibility in expression, by providing even opportunities for all students to succeed and removing learning barriers for all. For students to express ideas on physical action where they can plan and perform these to accumulate skills of a variety of different media or technologies, possibly using project templates as a result of monitoring checklists and guides, optimizing access to accessible materials and assistive and accessible technologies. Access for Charlotte to GCM technology during lessons, and recording levels in accordance to her diabetic management plan. Strategies that can be implemented in health and physical education classes include instructional approaches such as a pre-activity briefing, providing a shaded rest area for environmental consideration, and organizing a non-verbal timeout signal, which is a behavioral and communication strategy. At the start of lesson, before warm-up, check in with Charlotte to confirm her blood glucose level is within a safe range for the activity planned, reminding Charlotte she can pause or take a break to check her levels or have a snack is completely fine. Providing a shaded rest area where a chair and table are set up so Charlotte can test her blood sugar level or eat without leaving the activity completely to ensure she does not feel left out. Creating a non-verbal timeout signal allows Charlotte and her teacher to use a pre-agreed gesture to signal the need for a break. This could include a hand on her head or touching of the wrist. This is a subtle and effective gesture to inform the teacher without interrupting the whole class. During a math class, strategies that can be implemented to support Charlotte with her type 1 diabetes include instructional approaches such as flexible lesson pacing and anchor tasks, and the use of digital technologies such as lesson replay and captures. Flexible lesson pacing includes structuring short 10 to 15 minute lessons so Charlotte can temporarily step out to check her blood glucose level or eat something without losing out on learning material. Anchor tasks can be used in mathematics if Charlotte needs to leave for her diabetes management during the lesson. She can mark her page or laptop anchor task so when she returns she can resume where she has left off without feeling left behind. Lesson capture and replay is a digital technology strategy that can be used when Charlotte were to miss a large part of the lesson. It includes recording worked examples on an interactive whiteboard so Charlotte can review missed content and explanations that she can be reviewed late that day or at home. Charlotte case study and adjustments. Her inclusion in the NCCD is 1. Proof of disability. 2. Documented parental collaboration. 3. Documented adjustments. 4. A documented monitoring and review process promotes reasonable adjustments for her schooling. Through support in form of educating staff on her condition, adjusted workloads, availability of nutrition and tech accessories for blood glucose levels, extra communication for lesson criteria and expectations. When schools and teachers need to adjust their lessons based on Charlotte's condition, they are required to submit evidence of any amendments made to the program. Collaboration and consultation. It is not mandatory for schools to develop personalised plans. However, according to the Australian Institute of Teaching and School Leadership, Standard 1.6, Strategies to Support Full Participation of Students with Disability, and 4.1, Support Student Participation, addresses the necessity that teachers are ready and equipped to handle the diversity of students' needs and understands the legislative requirements to support learning and participation of students with disabilities. Diabetes education officers can provide teachers with education regarding Charlotte's emergency response plan and overall education and training on diabetes in adolescents. For students with type 1 diabetes to be able to fully participate and learn at school, a diabetes management plan is a vital document that outlines how schools can support these students in their daily life. The school works closely with the clinical team, Charlotte, and her parents to effectively implement her daily diabetes management needs whilst at school, which include blood glucose levels, insulin, constant monitoring. Working together will ensure Charlotte receives the support with her diabetes, which creates an equal opportunity within her classes. Consent is needed to ensure everyone looking after Charlotte and her diabetes while she is at school understands what's involved and is in agreement. Weekly emails on Charlotte's progress from classroom teachers can be sent to the medical team and her family to ensure her diabetes is managed appropriately and any changes can be made. Reasonable adjustments include modified workloads, hypopacks, and continuous glucose monitoring in lessons are reviewed in consultation with the principal, teachers, parents, and medical team for the best outcomes and inclusivity for Charlotte. The impact that type 1 has on families can place them under considerable stress to make sure that their children is kept safe and healthy. The schools have an important role in ensuring that students experience the same support and inclusive learning environment, which includes psychosocial as well as their physical health, ensuring a student's healthcare needs are manageable.